never get sober. And I hope when you think of me years down the line, you can't find one good thing to say. And I'd hope that if I found the strength to walk out, you'd stay the hell out of my way. I am drowning.
Are we absolutely sure what direction we're going?
Did you know you can ask your kids for advice on parenting them? But you're the parent and they're the child. Why would you ask them for advice? Because as the child, they know how their brain works better than I do. Recently, my 9-year-old found a free Warrior Cats game on the computer. She was so excited. She'd been looking for a game like this for ages. So she asked me to check it out because she wanted permission to download it. I sent it to my tech friend to see if this random website download would be safe for my computer, and I checked out the gameplay. We found unmonitored chat forums and no security keys, so I had to tell her no. We had a long conversation where I explained all of this to her, and although she was disappointed, she said, oh, maybe they'll fix it and I can download it in a couple months. So she continued to research it and talk about it, and eventually I said, hey, but I just don't know that it's gonna happen. You should probably find another game. I got really upset, but it makes sense. Growing up in today's world, when kids really like characters or stories, they can fully immerse themselves in them through video games, books, toys, but it doesn't work that way with Warrior Cats, and she wasn't ready to let it go. But nothing I said helped the situation. She was disappointed and mad. I told her her feelings were valid, but we had to find a way to cope with them. This wasn't the first time she'd been told no, but it was the first time she'd had such a big reaction to it. This was a big deal to her. I found myself getting really frustrated. She wasn't hearing me. Part of me wanted to say, get over it, but I didn't. Instead, I said, what can I do when you feel this way? How do I help you feel better? Her demeanor changed. She said she didn't know, but she was going to take time to think about it. And now any idea she brings me will be added to my parenting toolbox by the child I'm parenting, and I think that's pretty neat.
How much do you know about the foster system? Did you know that the foster system is racially motivated? On the white side, you have kids who are being abused, sent back to their parents, murdered, abused for the rest of their lives. It's crazy. On the black side, we have all these people being taken from their parents that aren't being abused, adopted out by random white folk, but only if they're young. All the teens are just put into group homes or arrested for something stupid. 9 times out of 10, you won't be placed with your siblings if you have any. The white kids are also put in psychiatric facilities a lot of the time. The indigenous kids just get put in fucking residential schools and murdered. Hispanic kids have to deal with going through ICE and locked in little cages and shit. Deported to a random country they've never fucking been to since the day they were born. 9 times out of 10, children of color are put into privatized foster care because there are no rules and you can get away with a lot more abuse. Foster care is racially motivated and it's fucked up.
My parents had 4 kids and somehow expected all of them to be straight and cisgender. Like, if I had 4 kids, I would want one of them to be gay, one of them to be bi, one of them to be trans, and one of them to be very into horses, because we can all agree that's part of the queer spectrum.
Things in my fundamentalist Christian homeschool experience that just make sense. Just kidding, there will be no sense in this video. Being paid $1 per week to teach my younger siblings. This only lasted a few weeks until I had a complete nervous breakdown from all the stress that it caused me. I was 11. All of my siblings being trained to point and yell, "That's not true," every time we happened to cross the phrase "millions of years" in a documentary or museum. Being really confused when people would ask me what my favorite subject was or what grade I was in and having no answer. Attempting to memorize the periodic table of elements because as far as I knew, that's all that chemistry was, and I thought I would be really smart at chemistry if I memorized the whole thing. Finding out after I was mostly grown that we did have a shelf full of kid-friendly chemistry books given to us by our grandfather who was a chemistry professor, but they were placed on a high shelf above our heads and none of us ever read them. Sorry, Grandpa. The books at our eye level that we read over and over again were all about Christian missionaries and martyrs. Literally dumpster diving for textbooks in the dumpster outside our local junior high school. I tried to read some of the textbooks and they made no sense to me, so I just gave up. The one science textbook that I did have containing multiple modules on why evolution and climate change are totally fake. Getting high school credit for medical studies after my depression and malnourishment sent me to the hospital multiple times. That's the best way to study medicine, right? From inside the hospital. I mean, I'll never forget what a spinal tap is. Writing my first book report at the age of 22. Learning about the civil rights movement for the first time about 2 years ago.
I'll get the salad, and I think my daughter might get some fries. Ma'am, is your daughter going to be showing up sometime soon? What? No, her. I'm sorry. I don't think she's taken her medication today. Sometimes she gets very confused. No, I'm not confused. I'm not confused.
I'm just trying to hit it by the end of the night. Lil' mama so bad and my booty so tight. When I hit it from the back, don't fuss, don't fight. When I put it in your mouth, don't scratch, don't bite.
Note to self, don't be gay.
Bro, I think I fucked up my soup.
Kids can't be LGBT+. There's no science. Hold that and watch the clip.
By 3 or 4, most kids identify with a gender, and it doesn't always match the sex they were assigned at birth. And a person's gender identity may change over their lifetime.
And then he concludes with this.
Sure, this might make things confusing for those who insist everyone pick an M or an F. But people, we have to listen to the science. And the science says we're all on a spectrum. Our labels, our fashion, even our washrooms are still catching up to that truth. I think you'll find when we look at sexuality this way, it is more complicated, but it's also a lot more honest. And it's more interesting.
I have no idea where the stereotype comes from. Like, let me talk from personal experience here. I have never experienced a fan base with more concentrated autism than the entire genre of metal music.
And so today I'm gonna try just getting up, sitting down, getting up, sitting down, getting up, sitting down.
Listen, it's a good joke. It's a great joke even, but I need you to stop anyway.
And I think to myself, what the fuck?
Yes, babies are like Dalmatians. So, I'm moderately tattooed and my husband is like heavily tattooed, and both of our kids came out blink. But I've heard if you wait long enough that they'll slowly start appearing when they get older, like a Dalmatian in its spots.
I know what I gotta do, healing the world with comedy, making a...
They gon' take your face off, they gon' rumble, they gon' take your face off. It's about drive, it's about power, we stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. Like in some more in my veins, my culture banging with strange. I change the game, so what's my motherfucking name?
Sure, this clicky math rock. Math rock roll good, no dice jail. Math rock roll bad. That took me 14 tries. Math rock get put in bad dice jail. Bad dice stay here till bad dice learn lesson. Get good new dice from good new dice machine. Dice jail.
You and me, we're not the same. I am a sinner, you are a saint.
It didn't take me long to realize something that never occurred to me before. Actually, no one ever really talks about this, but
Cash your charge.
being gay is really expensive.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see
Your mom.
It's a disability. It's a superpower. It's DiGiorno.
Biblical angels be like, "Be not afraid," and then they're this Lovecraftian horror story of floating eyeballs writhing around, and when you get close to them, they alter your perception in mind-blowing and terrifying ways. Typical.
So, sorry, while you're messing with this tape, can you just read that sign to me?
My sign?
Please.
It says, please take one or two, whatever feels right. I love you. Happy Halloween. And then there's a jack-o'-lantern.
That is so Tory Phantom of you. Why are you leaving? Why
We're
that?
trick-or-treating, so we can't hand out the candy. So I'm gonna put a bowl out, and then I'll put the sign, because maybe they don't just want one, maybe they want two, maybe they're in a silly, goofy mood. So I want them to know that I love them.
Why the I love you?
Because there's not enough love in the world.
Good point. I'm gonna go take two myself. We got Butterfingers.
Okay.
You have to treat a car like you treat a woman.
Go on.
No, I sense I've made a mistake of some kind.
I'll never love you like I can. Why are you looking?
So just chill out. You know, drink a 7-Up, eat a moon pie, quit murdering people.
Absolutely not.
Oh no! My brain! It's broken!
I went to get my oil changed the other day. The mechanic said, "Sir, you know you can do this at home, right?" I said, "Yes, sir, I do, but I only have the oil. I don't have the change." He said, "That's acceptable. Give me 45 minutes and we'll have her right out." I popped over next door to Hot Topic. I needed to pick up a crate of my favorite fingerless gloves. I also needed to show the 15-year-olds there that I was much, much cooler than them. They attempted to talk to me, but I didn't talk to them. I'm not a lead singer in a pop punk band, for Christ's sake. I go back to the mechanic shop. I say, "Is my vehicle done, sir?" He says, "It's only been 15 minutes, but yes, it's done. But we found some problems." And I said, "Problems? What problems?" He said, "Well, sir, we found a large amount of spaghetti in your fuel tank. When I looked at the cameras, I could see you dumping bags of spaghetti into your fuel tank." I said, "Cameras? First off, on camera? I don't know anyone named Camera. The only two things I'm on are on my knees to pray to the Lord above and amphetamines. And secondly, this is an Italian car. It's a Lamborghini. What else am I supposed to put in the fuel tank besides spaghetti?" He said, "Sir, you're supposed to put gas in your fuel tank." I said, "Gas? G-A-S? G-A? The first letters in gay? I don't think so, sir. Let me speak to your manager." He says, "Well, you are the manager." And I said, "Oh, well, why are you giving me a hard time right now?" He said, "Well, sir, this is Olive Garden. Our motto is, when you're here, you're hard." And I said, "Oh, that makes sense. Another round of breadsticks for the table, please."
I'm so happy! I'm so sad!
I was acting. Or was I?
Lately, there's been a spike of superphobia in the United States. Is this about the super straights? As in straight transphobes making being straight and transphobic a sexual orientation. Transphobe, bigot, it's not a real sexuality. But be careful who you antagonize. Well, some super straights are out of the closet. Oh no. Not everyone is so lucky. Don't be a superphobe, be a super ally. Oh, this has to be satire, right? This has to be. You're telling me that people genuinely believe it's easier to be LGBTQ+ than it is to be straight. Oh, and sorry that you're getting called out for being transphobic. It's not discrimination to be told that you're being transphobic.
Hey kiddo, what did you want for your birthday? Eyeshadow? No, I'm not doing that. My son is going to have the entire makeup kit. So tell me which one you want. I need you set up for greatness.
I love it when my teacher says, clothing is really an outward expression of who we are on the inside. While I'm wearing a Murder Dolls t-shirt and pants that I like to call my garbage pants.
Alright everyone, welcome to GSA. Let's start with some pronouns. How about Sky, you go first. I'm non-binary, but I prefer he, him, or they, them. That's awesome. Could you grab her a name tag for her pronouns? Thanks. Here you go, Sky. You go, girl.
Dad, I'm really sorry to do this, but we really can't take care of you anymore, and these people are really nice. You're gonna be really happy here, okay? Okay, come on, honey, say goodbye to Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa, I'm learning about the early 2000s in history right now. What is Vine? Oh my God, Sally, what have you done? What? I don't understand.
Only a spoonful?
Oh God, it's starting.
What the dog doing?
Call the nurse.
Hurricane Katrina? More like Hurricane Tortilla?
What's happening, Mom?
Look at all those chickens!
I hate to be the one to break it to y'all, but if you non-binary or trans, what's up, baby? I'm trans too. It's International Pronoun Day. I go by he, him. Get it right.
Damn, baby, you got pronouns? That's dope as hell, dude. My nouns wanted to go pro, but they tore their ACL right before tryouts, and they could barely make it into the minor leagues. Now they live in a van down by the river.
Practical breast binding. Dr. Tony here, and we're going to talk about a specific technique that my patients have brought to me. I thought this was a really interesting technique because a patient came in and had 2 sports bras. The first one that's really, compressing, but it's usually not enough. But they can just put this on and you have some compression. Then over the top of this, they came in with a second sports bra that they put on backwards to compress over the top. All the fabric is breathable, and the beauty of Nike is that it's also wickable. It takes all the body moisture and takes it away. And the kind of binding that you get with this is really quite striking. And if you don't want to pay for the brand Nike, you can go to Walmart, which is where this came from. When your gender dysphoria kind of like pops up and increases, this is something that's relatively easy to do, very comfortable, and quite affordable. Brought to you by one of my patients.
What's your pronouns?
What's my what?
Your pronouns.
Him.
Yes! Thank you, sir. Jeff Bezos isn't a bad man after all, guys. Excuse me, I love your shirt. Now, what's your pronouns? I think he's in the closet.
Hello there.
Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's your pronouns?
He, him.
Yes, let's go! Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, you just won our game. Who's going to the retirement home?
In this school, we won't stand for bullying, we won't stand for sexism, homophobia. It's a zero tolerance policy, okay? So there's some of my favourite things. Well, I'm obviously not talking about you. It's fine when you do it. You can run very quickly.
The spider pizza was cute. I'm gonna make face. Fillet of face.
In a mixing bowl, cream cheese,
4 ounces of nut meat. I'm using walnuts, but use whatever you want. Or leave it out. This is lawless cooking. You don't have to have nut meat, but I do because Tori said I do. And a splash of milk. I'm using oat, but you can use whatever. Mix it more effectively than this. Once mushy, add cayenne. I'm using raspberry chipotle seasoning from Spiceology, but you don't have to get this if you don't want to. Brown sugar and chili powder will work just fine. And no, this isn't my raspberry. Calm the fuck down. Raspberry preserves. How much? Some. That much looks good. It doesn't look fantastic. But it is tasty and it's okay. We're going to hide most of it in face. One creepy Halloween mask and press and seal. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. We just need the general shape of the face. Now cover that in a thin layer of prosciutto. Add your cream cheese mixture. Pop it in the fridge for a couple hours.
Gwenna, why is there a face in the fridge?
Okay. Pro tip, warn your husband you're making spooky food. Now take a handful of fresh raspberries and crush them. Good gore. And now you have flayed face. All right, it's your turn. Noodles, egg, hot sauce. You know, it's really weird how you say words.
Hey, Tori. Tori Phantom? Your ingredients are sugar, tomatoes, and cheese.
Really? We're doing this again, Gwenna. Again. I mean, I guess we never determined a winner the first time anyway. Sugar, tomatoes, and cheese, please. Let's go. Water, sugar, and yeast in a bowl. My shirt also has spooky skeleton. Knead it and heat it back into the bowl. Add some food dye and tea or cheese. And we got some tomato sauce. The colorful cheese does serve a purpose. So our string cheese spider web doesn't blend in. Obviously, we will need some spiders, which is scary, I know. We'll take a half cherry tomato and some sliced olive legs. Bake at 425 for 15 minutes. Spooky spider pizza. I know some may argue that intestines are spookier than spiders. However, I am afraid of spiders and I am not afraid of intestines. So you gotta try this. Do the thing. The spooky cook-off must continue. Gwenna, your ingredients are raspberries, cayenne pepper, and we're bringing back the nut.
It's spooky season. Time to make spooky food. Come on. Serial killer cinnamon rolls. You need 2 cans of cinnamon rolls. And some bacon. Now unroll them. Pinch the ends together to make a really long rope. Arrange them in a roughly intestinal arrangement, but we're not done. We need bacon. Now weave bacon in between the strips of cinnamon rolls. It's okay if it's a little taller. It'll cook down. Bake at 350 for about 25 minutes. While that's baking, we're going to address the frosting. Make it bloody. Now I added a splash of heavy cream, which makes it a little runnier and easier to apply, but it also makes it pink. I could just keep piling in the red food dye, but I prefer the cocoa method. This method is not for the faint of heart. Too much cocoa and the frosting will taste bitter. The right amount of cocoa and it looks like blood, which is what we're aiming for, because spooky food. Also sift it in because cocoa is a lumpy dick. There we go. That's a nice intestinal color. I took about a teaspoon of cocoa for the 2 canisters of frosting. Now add some sprinkles for texture and a few picks. Serial killer cinnamon rolls. It's an intestinal delight. It's still missing something though. Oh yeah. A cook-off. Hey, Tori. Tori Phantom? Your ingredients are sugar, tomatoes, and cheese. Make it spooky.
Okay, follow up about neurodivergent humor. I feel like most people know about anti-jokes, so that like really hit home for a lot of people. But I really like stuff that just has no context. In light of that, I want to show you some stickers that my friend just impromptu mailed to me. This one says, "Pardon my weird driving. I'm thinking about centipedes again." And then it says, squiggle, squiggle. This one says, "I'm proud of my tadpole wizard. Magic wand, magic pond, tadpole wizard." And then this one I put on my computer. It says, "On my way to cry near a lighthouse. The sea beckons. Goodbye, land." One of the reasons I think they're so great is that in a predominantly neurotypical society, I think when people see things that they don't understand, they assume that there's some sort of reference associated with them. And my entire childhood and most of my life, I didn't make connections between references. And that was one of the biggest ways that people used to make fun of me. So it's really cathartic to have this giant sticker on my laptop where I think when most people see it, they think, and they've even said, "I don't get it," because there's nothing to get. They just don't think it's funny.
Welcome back to Budget Witch Tips. Let's turn this candle from Walmart into a protection working for my entire house. So I'm going to cleanse the candle first, pop the lid off, cleanse the candle inside as well, especially if it's from a mass conglomerate. Remove the sticker, that's my personal preference. carve a bind rune, protection rune, or a sigil into the top of the candle. I am using a small amount of protection oil that is also in my Budget Witch Tips playlist if you'd like to see the recipe for that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of mint, and this is going to clear and protect, light her up. I do let her sit on my altar for a little bit, and then I move her to her final place, which is in my living room. So this is hitting everybody in my family. It's the meeting place of my household. So this is where it will stay.
Look, I'm willing to check up with Glorg and Gorm down
What is crazy about wanting your bones?
Okay,
You like emo music, right, Bob? For sure. Love emo music. Great, so you should know this song, right? Sing it with me. Hey, Bob, why weren't you singing? Oh, I just didn't know that one. It's quite all right, Bob. You should know the song off the first note then, right? That was just one note. How am I supposed to know the song? Bob, I'm gonna have to ask you to get out of my car. Wait, what? Get out of my car!
I dreamed about you while I was in my poison coma. I was all old and withered, and you were still nice and pink.
You think I'm nice?
You know, I have a queer kid. You have a kid. Gender fluid. And you're cool with it. I'm not a monster, Jake.
Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.
Sir, flex I do work 6 of like Mike. He's out of
Don't get your bra in a twist, fat boy. This has nothing to do with you, so keep out of my way.
Or what?
Or, I'll punch you in the boobs.
I don't have boobs. These are pectorals. Ow, my boobs!
When you were 12, you wanted a smaller tummy, less body hair, or thinner thumb.
Actually, when I was 12, I wanted to be a guy. I didn't really care what I looked like.
Listen, I can't give any more information. But I fear I may have girl bossed a bit too close to the sun.
So let me just get this straight, right? Okay, first, Steve from Blue's Clues comes back and apologizes for abandoning me, and I'm still waiting on that apology from my biological father. And then I turn around and fucking Chucky, the serial killer doll, states that he's got a gender fluid child and he's okay with that, and says that he's not a monster because he's okay with having a gender fluid child. But yet, neither set of the parents that I got can accept that I'm a man and respect me as a man because I'm trans. What kind of bullshit is this? I'm tired and I hate it here.
How funny of you to assume that thing I did to... How bold of you.
Bold of you to assume he would choose anything else but the garlic bread.
Now, only true gentlemen would choose the garlic bread over the cat girlfriend.
But a true gentleman would choose the cat girl over the garlic bread, because if she's your girlfriend, well then she can just make you garlic bread for an infinite amount of time. So, which one would you choose?
I'm so happy!
Hi friends, come make a sloth with me. All of our sloths are therapeutically weighted and come with a crystal heart. Today we'll be making a new character from the dog collection. Their name tag reads, "Hi, my name is Owen. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have an extremely difficult time removing items from my personal spaces. When I have to get rid of something, even if it appears worthless, I feel a sense of panic or dread wash over me. I feel like removing or changing things will cause something horrible to happen. I check my spaces multiple times a day to make sure that nothing has been moved without me knowing. When I finally do get rid of things, I find myself thinking about it over and over in my head, fearing that the change will be dangerous. When I'm struggling, I like to call my therapist for guidance and reassurance. I also enjoy reading and taking long walks. This helps me feel better. Stigma I face is people saying that I couldn't possibly have OCD because my car and bag are always so messy and disorganized. OCD does not equal cleanliness. I like to remind others that OCD can manifest in many ways and it affects everybody differently.
Oh my god.
Was that the bell?
So many comments about Ivar stealing souls. Ivar doesn't steal souls, people. Unless you're looking directly in his eyes, then yes, he's stealing your soul.
This delusion in our heads is gonna bring us to our knees. So come on, let it go.
I'm just trying to hit it by the end of the night. Lil' mama so bad and my booty so tight. When I hit it from the back, don't fuck.
Shake well before use.
There are times when I will.
This is your morning dirty kid crust punk affirmation. Repeat after me. It's not that I don't shower, I am a biologist and I am cultivating an ecosystem. My body is the Garden of Eden, not a temple.
Random people you'll find in friend groups. 1. The boring one who will become an average member of society. 2. The quiet one who isn't quite sure how they ended up there. 3. The 2 who are clearly way better friends than everyone else. 4. The obnoxious one who does wild and weird things no suburban teen could ever dream of, such as jumping on and licking things. 5. The 50-50 friend who will either be the life of the party or say something extremely cringy. 6. The funny one someone should probably check up on. And 7. F***ing Dylan.
This one's for all of you who have to keep hearing your dead name and the wrong pronouns constantly. I know it hurts, I know it sucks to hear it. I love you, I support you. And I want you to comment your name and pronouns and I'll make a video just for you.
Just for clarification, I'm not a girl, although I am in possession of a spectacular pair of tits. My own.
I don't know if you'll find this funny or concerning, or if I'm going to give you a little insight to your own brain that maybe you didn't need. Anyway, I do that lots, and that's why we're such good friends. I say things, and you're like, fuck you. Anyway, so I've been doing some thinking in my little brain, and I spend a lot of time kind of, because I really fall in the combination of hyperactive, inattentive ADHD, and I spend a lot of time just like, head empty, no thoughts. But like, it's not head empty, no thoughts, because if you're anything like me, which you're seeing this video, your brain is moving 10,000 miles an hour all the time, and you have like 15 different thoughts happening constantly. Something that I think I've developed, I don't feel like it always used to be like this, and I find it a little worrisome, is that if I don't complete the thought, because I can just drop it, because object permanence, no, she's lacking. If I just drop the thought, it's almost like my brain is empty because I'm not really putting in any work. It's just like the first 3 words and then it goes away. And so I sit here having no thoughts, but I'm having all the thoughts, but I'm not finishing enough for them to be real thoughts, you know? And so I'm thinking many things, but I couldn't tell you a single thing I thought. Anyway, I'm Dr. Seuss.
Doing it's not style. I'ma pick you up in a Cadillac like a gentleman, bring it glamour back, keep it real to real in the way I feel. I could walk you down the aisle. I wanna do you like Michael. I wanna kiss you like Prince.
It didn't take me long to realize something that never occurred to me before. Actually, no one ever really talks about this, but
Cash or charge?
being gay is really expensive.
Nights are getting closer.
You know, this is a very, very nice box, but can you explain to me why I'm in the box again? You're gonna kidnap me? Where are we gonna go? You're taking me back to your place? Do you have Super Smash Mario Bros? Do you have Xbox? Do you have Halo? I've never been allowed to play those things. Do you have Mountain Dew? I was never allowed to drink Mountain Dew. Wait, what about Twinkies and Ho-Hos? Do you have those? Oh, they're so sugary. I've never ever bitten into one, but they look so juicy. Oh, I want one. What else are we gonna do? I get to play with rope? I was never allowed to play with rope. Oh my gosh, we're gonna swing from tree to tree and everything. Oh my gosh. Well, don't just stand there. Take me up. Let's go. I want to go on an adventure. Let's go.